Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over how to improve your running mechanics, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals.
You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video.
Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so this is something that I think is going to really help people out. Really, we're going to be going into the leg cycle and how the leg cycle really makes a big difference when it comes to improving or running faster, right? Both if you're trying to, and I wanted to make this for sprinters, right? People that are trying to run faster in short distance, as well as people that are trying to run longer in long distance. So we are going to be looking at, obviously, I mean, this is me here on the right, but we're going to be looking at Noah Lyles as well as Eliud Kipchoge to be able to look deeper into running mechanics for both. So we're going to start off with Noah Lyles. So as we get into it, I do want to say that if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, you can leave those down below. That obviously helps out a ton. We're going to go into, you can see me here on the right. Obviously, I'm a little bit more like a football athlete. I still play, like I say active through football, just casually running. I'll do, workouts where it's both long distance as well as sprinting. So I think my running mechanics are not as optimized as Noah Lyles. I'm definitely not nearly as fast as Noah Lyles. And I do want to say, I do think Noah Lyles, in terms of top end speed, has the best sprinting mechanics currently that is active. He's very, very efficient. We can see, and the big thing that happens within the leg cycle that's so impressive with Noah Lyles, and we're going into the specifics here, right? So this is not going to be something that is just like, oh yeah, general video, blah, 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 clickbait, whatever. This is very, very specific. These are things that are going to help you in getting faster. And so what you see here is, me, and if I'm going to go ahead and draw a line here in straight 90-degree kind of line, and so you can see where my thigh is, right? And then we're going to do that same thing for Noah Lyles, and you can see how they are lined up, basically same time, right? The difference is if we see the foot, right, how much for one, and this is me, I'm trying to get my foot up, right? Like in my mind, I'm actively trying to achieve what he's doing. I'm not running 100%. But I will say, because I wanted to get, again, a little bit of both, I'm probably running about 17 miles an hour right here, 17, 18. I want to say the treadmill said like 17.6, but that was a little bit further into it. So here, maybe I'll go a little bit further in. There we go. So, I'm probably, again, 15 to 17, somewhere in there. Again, this is more at the end where I was at 17. But you can see the difference in the height of his foot compared to my foot. Right? And so that ends up being a big thing, right? In order to run faster, you've got to be fast at flexing that knee, right? This foot comes off the ground. We want to be fast in getting knee flexion, getting that heel up to the butt, all right? So that's one big thing that ends up being really important when it comes to running faster, okay? Another big thing is going to be how quickly you can swing your foot through. Okay, and a lot of these things are going to be based off the foot. I'm very, very foot and ankle based when it comes to teaching the mechanics. And again, we're focusing on the leg cycle. There's obviously things that can improve or that we can think about within the arms, within the posture. There's things that we can really isolate there. But for now, we're going to just focus on the lower body, right? And so we can see here, he is getting into, right, so this position. And I will say mine, I am capturing at 240 frames per second. So mine will probably be a little bit more precise in terms of the position. So I'm going to go a little bit further here. But again, we're going to get to what is called just max knee flexion, right? Or sorry, max hip flexion. Okay, so my knee is as high up as it's going to be. Okay, and in that position, where is the foot? Okay, again, Noah Lyles, so right here, we're at a similar angle, but he's still driving his knee forward and through, and more importantly, he's very fast. So you can see that next frame, he's here, and then that frame, he's still getting higher in his knee. I guess I'm still getting a little bit higher, so this is maybe a little bit more of the right position here. But the point is, how fast can we get this foot through? Okay, the speed at getting your foot through, right, or your shin through, your ankle through, however you end up wanting to put that, or however that relates to you best, ends up being something that's really, really important when it comes to improving your speed. So you can see here, you know, my angle is 116. You'd want it to be as much straight up and down as possible. So then what happens here, okay, so that's number 2, the speed of getting that foot through, okay, and then number 3 is going to be foot contact, right? Where do you hit the ground? How do you hit the ground? And that is going to be, you know, I guess there's definitely going to be a difference within the hip flexion capabilities when it comes to running longer distances, right? Again, we'll go into that with Kipchoge next. And that just made me realize I got to slow down, right? I'm getting going. I'm getting excited. Again, if you like the information, click that thumbs up, subscribe. I get very passionate about this. I love, you know, helping people out with their sprinting mechanics. So, yeah, again, I got a little excited there. So now it's going to be, how do we strike the ground, okay? And, you know, I'm actually just going to go and change it to Kipchoge just because, you know, I'm really focusing on striking the ground correctly. So I'm going to have a more similar foot strike to Noah Lyles, where we could see here, you know, with his foot striking. And, you know, it's amazing with him is, and you can see the difference, like, look at how small and lightweight his shoes are, right, Noah Lyles, in comparison to Kipchoge's, where those are like really big shoes, and he's running, you know, fast. You know, I think he is sustaining about 12 miles an hour over this entire run, right? Or when he's running these long distance races, he's somewhere within that range, which is so impressive, especially with shoes that are, you know, this size. I do think that Nike makes a good long distance shoe, and so they're probably pretty lightweight. But they're still definitely heavier than, you know, Noah Lyles shoes. So, but you can see, so when Noah Lyles is striking the ground, you know, he's really pulling back. So he's landing with like his foot really, or his toes really above the heel, right? As that foot's striking the ground, okay? And he's pulling that foot back underneath. I think that ends up being something you want to be able to do the best that you can running long distance, but you can see with Kipchoge, he's landing much more on the heel. You can see the heel is higher, or sorry, the heel is lower than the toes, right? We can see the difference there. Now, you know, he's not necessarily landing on the heel, but he's definitely more towards that middle part of his foot, and then he uses that as a way to be able to kind of, you know, go into pronation and then push off and sustain a pretty consistent run there. On this one, again, he's landing, and he's landing a lot more on the outside part of his foot as well. Noah Lyles is landing much more on the inside part of his foot. You know, this one he's a little bit more outside, but it's still, in comparison, because of how fast the legs are moving, he's going and transitioning from one forward very quickly, right? Even if he lands a little bit more on the outside, and also to the inside very quickly, because the foot contact time is really the big difference between, you know, running upwards of 24, 25 miles an hour, like what Noah Lyles is probably running, in comparison to running, you know, somewhere between 11 and 13 miles an hour, which is what Kipchoge's running, right? It really has to do a lot with foot contact time. But you can see how similar they are with how fast that knee flexion happens, right? I see this all the time with people where they're just not very quick with bending the knee and getting that foot up, right? Which then makes it so it limits how much distance you're getting per step. You can see people running all the time, and you'll see that they just are not effective at being able to get to bend the knee, get the foot up, right? And then you could also see, you know, as he drives his knee through, he's very quick at getting his foot through too. Okay, he's a little bit behind here, right? But he's still, like, basically right when he gets to max knee, or sorry, max hip flexion, his foot is very close to right underneath his knee. Within one frame, he's there, okay? Which then allows his body to control landing, right? So this little bit of knee extension helps him being able to control the landing position, right? So now he's landing much more straight up. Now, you know, Noah Lyles is going to be more underneath his hip, right? Much more, or they're both very upright. You can see with, you know, Kipchoge, he's a little bit more out in front. But again, that is going to make it so his foot contact time is a little bit longer. It's going to make it so he can sustain his pace a little bit more effectively. So, you know, Noah Lyles, again, is going to be trying to stay a lot more upright, right? His spine's going to be a lot more upright. His hips are going to be a lot more upright, and it's going to allow him to get a lot more vertical force, right? And get a great leg cycle, where Kipchoge is going to be much more horizontal force, right? Noah Lyles is not going to be able to sustain this for forever, right? He's going to tire out. Kipchoge is going to be able to have much more efficiency in this movement pattern, right? Because he's landing with that foot a little bit more out in front. He's landing further back, which allows his body to be able to absorb there, transition to the inside, and he's just naturally, both of the guys are really naturally toeing off. That just allows putting more force in the ground, so there's more stability. And as he's getting into that toe off, he is having to create much more upward force production, which was going to allow him to continue to cycle the legs faster, where, again, Kipchoge wants to be able to still cycle those legs as fast as he can, but he has to have some degree of sustainability there, which is why landing with that foot out in front is a little bit more effective for the long distance runners. But again, both of them very quick at flexing the knee, great foot height back behind, okay? Drive the knee through, right? As you're getting the knee through, Nolau is going to be able to get the much more hip flexion, okay? Where Kipchoge doesn't need as much hip flexion, but he does need to be able to get the knee through, does need to be able to get the foot through, so then he can better control landing. Really, those are the three most important parts of the leg cycle. We can go definitely more in depth if we were going to look into the back and things like that, but for now, we will call the video here. And I will say, if you are interested in getting your running mechanics looked at and improved, you can always go ahead and check out the description down below. We do have options for that, where we will go and be able to break it down both from like a live position, right, where you could go ahead and run, we'll look at it, we'll film it and be able to look at it, or even better is if you have video already, maybe you're running on a track or something like that, and we can go ahead and take a look at it. We do look at your gait and your walking and things like your single leg squat, and much more movement patterns, especially for those long distance runners that are looking to, if you have some type of overuse injury or something that is kind of reoccurring, or you just want to be able to understand how to run better, that's definitely something that you can take a look at. Sprinters, we have a lot of options in terms of programs as well. I know long distance runner, it's a lot more, obviously weights are important, but it's a lot more about having that ability to consistently run. There are weight things that we do, and there's customized programs that we do, and that's for a wide range of different types of athletes. So if you guys are interested in any of that, check the description down below. We have a lot of different options there, or send me an email, give me a call, whatever ends up being the best for you. Again, thanks for watching. Give me a like if you're still watching this video right now. Subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about running mechanics. We're going to go more and more in depth into this, especially going into 2023, and we'll talk to you soon.